Today, I'm going to try hyperrealism for the second time. But unlike last time, this time we are cutting no corners. We are doing things in full. We are drawing something grand. A dark-skinned man with lots, and I mean lots of skin pores. Now, a challenge like this is what I need because, listen, I'm beginning to hate drawing. Okay, maybe not really hate, but more like getting really bored by it. I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. Things that I'm comfortable with. And as the great quote would say, growth doesn't happen doing something that you are comfortable with. And drawing intricate skin pores with wrinkles, texture and fabric is definitely the kind of discomfort I need. So everything was going fine, life was sweet until I realized the mistake I made. Yeah, the eye was totally off. But it's no problem, you can't conquer the world without obstacles. We can just simply erase it and carry on. And then I made another mistake. You know, at this point, screw it, I'm even done with this drawing. What's the meaning of this? Okay, alright, you know, I'm just going to erase it and continue. But this time, let's create perfection. And now that the boring part of the drawing of the outlines is over, we can now start the easy part, drawing the eyes. And now I don't know if this is a problem with me, but I just can't start anything in the drawing without drawing the eyes first. And so I bring up that charcoal pencil and we can now complete the eye.
So let go, I don't want to, but I'm gonna try. When she left me, yeah, let a little bit inside. Maybe things are gonna be alright, 'cause I just wanna see the light. I'm so sick of waiting.
Okay, now that the eye is over, we can now focus on the skin pores. And if you look at the nose, you can see that there's a lot of skin pores there. So we are going to start with that. One of the first things that we do is that we first draw or we shade the base layer. Usually I would use my graphite pencil and shade, but I decided to try something new. I used graphite powder to shade the base layer, and it was actually fun. So I start with the graphite powder to give me a smoother effect, and then I add the charcoal powder to make it darker. If you want to see the full process of this drawing without any speeding up, you can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/JasonLegendaryArt. But by shading like this, we have laid the foundation of the drawing. And after the foundation of the building, what comes next? Bricks. And the bricks in this case are the skin pores, though here they look more like little boils. It's at this point that I start feeling less confident because, you know, skin pores just ain't my thing.
Can you hear, can you hear, can you hear my voice? Coming through, coming through, coming through the noise. I'm floating through outer space. I'm lost and I can't find a way. Oh, all the lights going dark and my hopes destroyed. Help me.
Now take note of this right cheek. Let me explain how I create the skin pores here. You can start with the highlight or the shadows for the skin pores, but here I am starting with the shadows. I use my 2B pencil to draw something like semicircles to denote the shape of the skin pores. And then all I just do is I use my eraser to erase a little white shape in the middle of the semicircle. And that's it. Simple, right? Well, not exactly. Most beginners will just stop at this stage. But you see, I later went in to darken the shadows, and I also did a bunch of other things like use my brush to dull the highlights so that they can blend with the skin better. But anyways, I'll just be chilling and I don't know, spending the next 3 hours drawing this skin pores. Well, let's go.
Calling out Mayday. Calling out Mayday. It's so dark out here in space.
We get to escape drawing the mouth. Thank God he's covering his mouth with his hoodie. But then again, this now means that I have to now draw the fabric that he's using to cover his mouth. Oh shucks. But for now, let's draw what we can, and that is his mustache. I use my charcoal pencil to create curly short lines. I try to make them pointy at the end of the stroke so that we can create that sharp tip. To do this, you have to make sure that you use a very sharp pencil. Add variety to the strokes, some strokes thick, others light, some strokes long, others short. Blend with your brush, and now here is where it gets fun. I use my Tumble Mono Zero eraser to create white lines to give the illusion of white hairs. And now all that is left is to draw the fabric. And to draw the fabric, I simply just have to take a break for like 3 weeks because I got lazy, maybe post 1 or 2 Instagram reels, and after finally garnering a bit more motivation, I guess we can now continue.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record. Been a little too nice for y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hate. I won't get a ball today. Got lost in the ball and
now, this was a pretty challenging piece. There was a lot of fear, mistakes, unmotivation, and me questioning if I really still knew how to draw. But I sure did enjoy it because this is what makes drawing fun. This is what makes life fun. Doing things that challenge you. And now, boys and girls, daddies and mommies, buckle your belts and tie your shoelaces because it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, the reveal.